have you involved like in the record, because I think, you know, you were going to be overseas or on tour, you know, during the time of the session.
Yeah.
And so it's just nice to be able to still find an avenue to be able to, you know, showcase like your ability and the fact that I love having you in the band and, you know, still having you be a part of it. And, man, I mean, because when I thought of the whole, you know, conception of making Jupiter this sort of hybrid movement, opus, whatever you want to call it, I knew it was definitely going to require, you know, it was going to be brass heavy. You know, it's sort of I want to be a trumpet player myself. You know, that's so much of what I'm drawn to. And man, I hope if y'all haven't checked out the recording on Volume 2 of Jupiter, and you haven't heard Marcus play Up in the Stratosphere, you know, to hit these, I don't even remember what that, it was like a double G or like a double E or something up above the staff.
Yeah, it was something pretty up there.
And yeah, I mean, it made it sound like it wasn't that up there. It's just so full and rich, and it just really, you know, creates that extra amount of tension where it's like, oh, the trumpet's playing in the higher register. Is he really going to get that note that's coming? Is he really going to? Yes, he is. And then to be able to have you rip, you know, like you really caught the vibe, you know, that I was going for with having folks, you know, improvise over that melody, you know, and that's sort of the backbone of what it was. And yet sort of this marriage between, you know, honoring the melody, but also like, and sort of a composition based tune, you know, married with the elements of improvisation that we know and love in jazz. And man, the way that you grip it and rip it, man, that's how I've heard a trumpet player up here describe your playing. It's like, man, that Marcus Tenney, he just like lets it fly, you know, and you do. And it just sounds so great. And it was just so awesome to be able to get that track back and be like, yeah, that's it. That's what it is.
Appreciate that, man. I was glad to be a part of that, man. I really like that arrangement too, man.
Yeah, it turned out well. Now it's just, you know, I'm sort of realizing that, you know, like folks don't really want to hear like straight ahead. You know, it was cool to be able to make, you know, like what I thought was a cohesive record, you know, it was kind of like a sound with some charts that I'd worked out and, you know, like sort of to introduce the band to the world. But, you know, now it's interesting in the sort of the realization that, you know, I'm going to need a lot more, you know, than a couple shuffles and just like swinging and stuff, you know, to make it happen, and sort of this marriage of all the different styles of music. Because I think there's a lot of folks that probably think I want to swing too, and yet that's the furthest thing, you know, from the truth. I mean, a lot of my go-to records, you know, not all of them, I'd say even less than half of them are jazz. You know, I mean, I listen to Reasonable Doubt like once a month, if not once a week.
Straight ahead, you know, straight ahead is such a complex scene. It's hard to. With music, I don't know. I don't really know. There seems to be, I feel like with swing, there has to be, I don't know. I can't describe it, because when I was watching, I mean, granted, we were watching Kamasi, Washington, was what I'm thinking of. Watching Kamasi, and they're swinging at Brooklyn Steel. You know, they're swinging at these other places with these giant rooms, and like, you know, people are standing there frozen, staring at them, losing their mind. I don't know how to process that, just because that comes, like, you know, coming up, I was just like, yeah, people don't really want to hear straight ahead like that. Like, that's something for musicians. But then, you know, went to DC and went to Cafe Nima, and so he's like, you know, you see Quincy Phillips and Alan Johnson and Chris Fun in there swinging, and there's girls in there, it's packed in there. It was like, oh, yo, what is this? And then going to out Supersonic Jazz, you know, of course, modern, you know, the bigger festivals of today, they're not necessarily swinging. Like, a lot of it is like more power, more beefed up music, and a lot of that comes from the drums and like lower frequencies and stuff like that. But the swing, I don't know what it is, because that is some of the most beautiful language swing, like the adjustment levels that you can have. You know what I mean? It's just like life. Swing is life. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how to bring that back, you know. And with that's why I try to maintain those straight ahead groups. It's because, like, we're trying to swing. I'm trying to make sure that I still can function over there. It's like it's becoming like Latin. You know what I mean? It's like musically, it's like musical Latin.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, nobody really speaks it, but everything comes from it. So in a way,
Right.
we kind of all speak it.
Right. That's a really good analogy, actually. That's a really good analogy.
Like swing, the dead, the live man. Some people say it's dead. Some people say it's not. Some people, I don't know.
Right.
That's why I say I don't know, because I'm just like, that just puts me in a very confused place with that subject, based on all the stuff I read and some of the stuff I've heard, you know. But I also do still seek out reasonable doubt. I'm still waiting for Jay-Z to open that up to everybody. I don't know why I wish he would just let us all stream reasonable doubt 100 billion times like we want to, but we got to buy Tidal. So maybe I'll just get Tidal so I can listen to it, because I missed that album. I love that. That album is so incredible.
Well, man, I found that CD in a bin for like $4 at a Best Buy one time. So I think that's how I get it, is that I put it on old-fashioned way, man. Put it on the computer.
Yeah.
Loaded it on the phone. But
that record is amazing. And you can hear the jazz rhythmic influence in it as well.
Absolutely.
All over it.
Yeah. I mean, he took most of that record, it sounds like, are a lot of like Motown samples. And stuff that's coming very much from, you know, the jazz tradition.
And it all just feeds into itself. I love that.
Jack Kilby and the Frontline's debut release, Love Is a Song Anyone Can Sing, is available now online for immediate download and for streaming on all your favorite streaming services.